Hello, I'm Styleboy and welcome to my world, and in today's video what I wanted to discuss was working in retail and having autism. So, I did a video poll about this, you guys wanted to see this, so obviously I'm going to be doing it. And I thought it'd be quite an interesting concept because I feel like no one actually talks about it. And working in retail is pretty much like a normal job, like everyone at least does it like once in their life. And I thought that, you know, why not? Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. It's a little bit more of like a real sit down chatty video, so if you want, grab some coffee, tea, biscuit. We love some Jaffa cakes around here. And make sure you do subscribe if you do want to see more autistic content. I have so many ideas coming up. And without further ado, let's begin. So I should probably give you some background information first on me and the job and all this stuff. So firstly, I have high functioning autism. If you do not know, I have Asperger's syndrome. If you want to find out more about it, the cards will be up there. Secondly, I work in a very busy area. So this will definitely come into play. Like as you watch further in the video, a lot of the stories I'd say, or a lot of the things I talk about, it all comes into play. And also thirdly, this is not an ordinary retail job. So I think that definitely comes into play. How I got this job, you may ask? Well, I was firstly Christmas temp, so I actually applied for my job 11 times before actually getting this job, and now I've been working there for a year and a month. Let me get back to an older Steph talking about this because he talked about this very well, so take it away. The general job isn't like bad or whatever, but I want to talk about some things that I sometimes deal with, because I'm not saying this is also like every day, because the majority of the time when I'm there it's actually pretty good. So some things that I deal with a lot, being in a busy area is very important, is because I can get very overwhelmed quickly. So being overwhelmed isn't like, again, if you're autistic, this isn't something brand new, but it can be very much like a sensory overload, because not only are you seeing loads of people, you're hearing loads of people, as well as music on top of that. You're smelling like 5 billion smells and you don't know what to do with your hands. So many senses just all at once like thrown at you. And the thing is, it's very hard to focus on one thing, especially when again it gets busy. And because your job is to serve customers. So when it comes into that, my head just gets scrambled because where do I serve? Because it's not just like 1 or 2 customers that haven't been approached, it's like 20 or 30. When I'm overwhelmed, it feels like loads of random things just in your head like scrambled and just thrown about. Like nothing's in order, no bullet journal. Basically my head is a messy notebook when it gets overwhelmed. The thing is, it can get very quickly overwhelmed, but it takes very long for me to not get overwhelmed. Honestly, like I remember I've done Boxing Day twice. And the Boxing Day we just had, 2019, oh my Jesus. That was one of the hardest days because I swear to you, I had an 8-hour shift, and that for 8 hours, I kid you not, I could not do anything. I got so overwhelmed because so much was going on. I had to get some air, get some space, constantly back and again, because I couldn't do it. And every time I came back out, the feeling just came back. And then that's the thing about being overwhelmed. It's not just like you can go toilet and you'll be fine and then you come back out normal. For me, because the feeling of being overwhelmed isn't just a short-term emotion, it actually lasts longer because it's all I can think about is like, oh shit, I'm overwhelmed. It gets harder and harder to deal with it and be like, calm down. It doesn't work. It gets very hard to deal with because I feel like sometimes, and this is a thing I deal with, is that sometimes trying to explain it to someone of like a higher position or something can be very difficult because they might not understand. And to have that empathy and to have that understanding is very important for me, because if I don't have that and it's very like a blunt response, it just doesn't help and it makes me go like, wait, what? Even like thinking about it, like it's so hard, especially during the Christmas period we just had. It was like constant, like it got bad to the point where I was crying out of being overwhelmed, and it gets so difficult because it's just like I can't concentrate. It blusters me and I'm just like, I can't do this. And the thing which helps me but doesn't help them is that I have to take time out. And what I mean by time out is properly get away from the whole thing, get somewhere quiet and distract myself. It's usually like when a friend comes and they just make casual conversation with me. They know I'm overwhelmed, but they just start talking to me about anything. Like I remember this one girl and we were talking about crying because we were happy. Because I watched The Holiday and I cried at it because The Holiday is such a beautiful film and I cried so much. But when we were talking about that, it got my mind off it and I was like, oh wait, I feel okay now. And sometimes it does take a couple of times to do that. Normally things that quite help me is like focusing on one thing. So like usually tills are pretty much better, although they can also fluster me as well. Or if I'm just like not focusing on customers but focusing on something else, like VM, like visual merchandising, and just like fixing stuff around the shop. That helped me so much because it just focused on like, right, just focus on like picking out stuff and be like, this doesn't go here, this goes here, you know? That's what I try and do because it helps me concentrate a lot. Another thing that kind of happens is that I get flustered, which again, that's pretty much normal. I get flustered quite a lot, to be honest. So what I mean by flustered is when people tell you to do one thing then another, I'm like, but I also get flustered when like rude customers come in because I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, no, because my mind goes into this thing of like, you don't have to do this, go. But it's also like, then obviously the pressure of being at work makes me go like, no, you have to stay and deal with this. But I'm like, that's why like, I have to freeze for a moment, which then obviously angers the other customer. And it's not nice, honestly, it's not, because obviously you can't tell every single customer like, oh, sorry, I'm autistic. You can get very flustered quickly and it can just get a lot. Another thing that kind of is a bit unexpected. Now this is something that, again, this is very personal. Like I said, this is a very personal experience, is having a fear at work, which is the worst thing, like an anxiety at work in case something will happen. Now, I've had a situation at work where things went bad. Hey, me again. So I wanted to kind of discuss this one because I was watching it and I thought that I needed to definitely explain things more. So, about feeling scared. Let me explain firstly about the situation that happened. So, I'm not gonna go into full detail because I don't really want to be doing that. I'm just not in the mood to talk about it today. But all I'm gonna say is that it led to these teenage boys ended up shouting homophobic things at me, including stuff like, are you gay? You like not, and the F word. So obviously put me in fear because it's like, what happened? Like, it's not nice. And especially again, like being bullied and having to go through stuff like that, it kind of reminds you of that feeling and it almost puts you back in there. It kind of just put me back into that mindset of like fear and panic. So obviously the good thing I did was ran. I was like, bye, ran away from that situation. But I had to go in the next day after that happened and all I had was fear. That day I was panicking the whole entire day because I was like, what happens if it happens again? This shop is busy. So much crazy stuff happens. What happens if it happens again? Also the fear, it can come in waves. It just does. Like sometimes I'm like, cool. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be so much fun. And sometimes I'm like freaking out and I'm like, oh my God, what happens if something happens? And I get a bad feeling something will happen. So I have a fear that obviously I rude customers, but customers getting to that extent. That just honestly was just something I just thought I should just say because especially when you have autism and you have to kind of know in your mind, it's almost like you have to prepare yourself in case something will happen, so you just feel scared. The emotion that you're feeling kind of takes over. And it's hard to get yourself out of that emotion unless you distract yourself from that. And also what I wanted to like say, because I feel like I definitely need to say this now, this is not normal. This is not normal in a job and this shouldn't be something you just deal with. If you feel scared or uncomfortable, move. Definitely do because it's not a good feeling. I've dealt with it a lot and I hated it. Like it's not nice to deal with and actually it's really uncomfortable to the point where like it can make you feel scared to go into work. And honestly, you shouldn't feel like that. Work should be a place of comfort and you should enjoy it and you should have the time of your life, not being scared or uncomfortable or fearful or sad or anyway. Like you should feel good about it. Of course, there are going to be days where maybe you do feel like this and that's completely natural, but you should not feel scared to be in your work. Not like I feel sorry for myself, but I'm sorry to my own self that I've put myself through that. Like as much as I'm like, oh my God, it's made me stronger as a person and whatever, it's also like I suffered and it's not a nice thing. So I just wanted to say that because it's kind of sad, but if you are going through it, just know I've been through it and many people have, and honestly the best thing to do is figure out your next steps because you, again, like no one should go through this, okay? I feel like the next thing I should talk about is like social skills. In retail doesn't actually push your social skills a lot. And obviously, like I said, it was actually a good thing. I put this as like lower down as like autistic benefits and it's like it pushes yourself to do something good. And it actually pushes yourself to be social and to be yourself. And that's really good. And also to talk to people, which is another thing I said, you get to meet so many different kinds of people. And I don't mean just customers, but I also mean like members of staff and you make friends by that. And it's so good. Also, from that, you see some hot guys come in. With your boy who cannot flirt for days, although he managed to date 2 customers, so look at me go. Yeah, I feel like that's like a really good thing. It's good to meet so many different kinds of people. It is, honestly. I think I have nothing else to say about it. Wow. Give it a thumbs up if you want to, a like, subscribe, share, you know what to do, and I shall see you guys very, very soon. Cheers, adios people, goodbye, goodbye.